The planet is getting hotter. It's getting harder to feed a growing world population. Many of the poorest are the most vulnerable to climate change. Many of the poorest live in Africa. This year, tens of millions of people in Africa are facing grave food shortages caused by drought. But it wasn't always like this. Before the COVID-19 pandemic, Africa had some of the world's fastest growing economies. Agriculture grew at the fastest rate in the world for close to 20 years. Farmers were the engine of economies and lifted hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. They can do so again. African farms have the potential to produce much more than they do at present. But African agriculture has to change. Self-Help Africa are supporting more than 5 million small-scale farmers and herders this year to cope with climate change. We are harnessing science and technology and working with grassroots movements to support farming communities to introduce new crops that can cope with changing weather conditions and are more nutritious. We are supporting women farmers to fully realize the potential of their land. And we're working with private businesses who are investing and creating jobs, establishing markets, and are adding value to the African farm production. We are doing this in ways that are also reducing greenhouse gases. Since 2020, this has included planting 1 million trees a year on African land. As temperatures soar, as extreme weather events become more commonplace, as conflict over scarce resources becomes more frequent, and as food production becomes more difficult, our work in Africa has become more important than ever. We believe that there is a solution to Africa's food and climate challenges. It's to be found on the 30 million farms that produce up to 70% of Africa's food production, and has the potential to produce much more. It's to be found on the land.